So how much money can you really make as an Uber and a Lyft driver? I'm guessing that's the question you have because you clicked on this video. What's going on, guys? My name's Adam and I've been a rideshare driver for a little while now, but solely on the Lyft platform, okay? So just recently I decided, you know what, I might as well also be driving for Uber. And so this video is gonna be a complete day's breakdown of how much money I made in one single day when I was driving for Lyft and Uber at the same time. And it also just so happened to be my very first day of driving Uber. So it's probably, you can probably expect to make something similar to this, you know, because I just had both apps on. I would accept a ride from one, I would turn the other app off and drive around. I wasn't doing anything special. I wasn't using any tips and tricks and strategies in terms of like, I was basically just accepting every single ride that was coming at me, and this is how much money I made in a single day. All right, so on this particular day of rideshare driving that I'm gonna be breaking down in this video, I worked my day job until 3 p.m. And then as I'm walking to my car from my day job, I turned the Uber app on. Okay, and before I actually got to my car, you know, I had like a 1.5 minute walk. Before I got to my car, I got my first Uber ding. So just like that, I was taking off and about to give my first Uber ride. All right, today is my first day of giving Uber a try. First ride went really well, passengers were cool. But then after my second ride, I was waiting around for maybe around 2 minutes when I decided, you know what? I might as well just have both apps running. I was planning on switching only to Uber and doing only Uber. But of course, impatient me decides that, you know, 2 minutes of waiting in between a ride, why wait for 2 minutes when I could be accepting rides from Lyft and Uber at the same time, right? So on my very first day of rideshare driving, I drove after my day job, right? I'm supposed to be done making money for the day, right? I'm supposed to, you know, I already worked. I'm supposed to be done making money. It didn't have anything going on that night. So I drove an extra 8.28 hours and I made an extra dollars that night. Don't worry, I'll get into exactly how much I made in just a second, and I'll break down all the numbers, show you screenshots of my earnings on both platforms and everything. But first, I want you guys to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It will help this video rank. And also, if you want to see more videos about rideshare driving tips and tricks and earning breakdowns, me breaking down standard mileage deduction and all sorts of these things to have a better sense of rideshare driving in general, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel and also hit the bell notification right next to that so you can be the first to be notified when I post a new video and get the most up-to-date content about rideshare driving. Thanks for that, guys. It means a lot to me. All right, guys, so with no further ado, drum roll please, the result of my very first day of driving Lyft and Uber at the exact same time. Let's break it down. All in all, I gave 8 Lyft rides on this day, okay? And I gave 9 rides on the Uber platform. With Lyft, I made $104.05. On Uber, I made $70.92, okay? And this is just driving a 2012 Nissan Altima with over 200,000 miles on it. This is not a special car. I'm not driving in a luxury vehicle or a extra large vehicle or anything like that. This is basic modes for each of these companies. I think it's called like Lyft Economy and Uber X or whatever. So all in all, on this day, you know, after my day job, I worked an extra 8.28 hours, I gave 17 rides, and I made $174.97. Let's call it $175 in income. But of course, you also have to factor in how many miles you drive, right? And how much gas you use. So I drove 189.6 miles on this day. I know I drove this many miles because I use QuickBooks Self-Employed to track my miles. If you're not familiar with QuickBooks Self-Employed, basically it's an app that makes it super easy to track your miles that you drive for rideshare driving, which is really important because come tax time, you need to know exactly how many miles you drove for rideshare driving to get your full tax write-off. This is done through something called the standard mileage deduction, and I'm not gonna get too technical and into the details about it in this video. Just know that this standard mileage deduction is basically how rideshare drivers end up spending basically no money on taxes from their rideshare driving. I'll leave a link to how to sign up for QuickBooks Self-Employed in the description box below this video. And if you want me to make a more technical detail breaking down the standard mileage deduction and how to do all of that, leave a comment under this video and just say, technical video please, video on standard mileage deduction. Do that for me, and if we get enough people leaving that comment, I will certainly make that video for you guys. All right guys, so there you have it, the real results of how much money I made in my very first day driving Lyft and Uber at the same time. I think this is a pretty realistic like benchmark for what you can expect to make driving on a Thursday night, you know, Wednesday, Thursday night for 8 hours in the winter of 2020. I've since now, this was my very first day of driving Lyft and Uber at the same time, right? That this video is breaking down. I have, however, several days since then driven for both at the same time. In fact, just yesterday I drove both at the same time. And, you know, in this particular example, on this first day, I did make more money with Lyft, but on all the other days I've driven both at the same time, I've actually made more money on Uber. So that's just one other thing to keep in mind. This is gonna be just kind of a hit and miss thing with which one tends to pay more, but overall, I do think Uber is gonna pay you more. But I believe the reason I made more on this particular day with Lyft is because going into the evening rush hour, I got a Lyft ride. And then, of course, you know, when I'm picking up that person, I turned the Uber app off. And then for a while there, I had like 3 or 4 rides all in a row where, you know, I had the next ride lined up before I dropped the last person off. So I actually definitely had more time logged into online mode on the Lyft app than I did on the Uber app. And it was also during that peak hours of like evening commuter rush. So this was kind of a one-off thing, but just, you know, I do actually think Uber is quite a bit better than Lyft right now, especially because Uber is still paying prime time to drivers. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to answer any questions you guys have about rideshare driving. And also, with no further ado, don't forget to smash that like button. It helps this video out a lot, and I would greatly appreciate it. All right, guys, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos about rideshare driving, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.